Let me just. Holy moly, I'm slow with everything. Yeah, because I need to post an announcement that, hey guys, we're doing the tourney, so it's gonna be great. Watch it on our stream. Right. Mention everyone.
Nice.
I just changed tourney to 1v1 league in bold letters. I don't know if it's just me or it's like the stream flickering. Okay, yeah, I didn't. I wasn't aware. I'm just gonna post the stream in other places. TM.
Yep, gonna do that too. Alright, I'll post it in a bunch of servers. Let's see if anyone actually shows up.
We'll find that eventually. Right. We're still waiting on Zeno.
Yep.
I'm asking him how much longer to wait. Oh boy, Zeno's having to contend with Avast.
Why does he have Avast installed?
Antiviruses in 2018. Omega lol. Someone's joining. Is that Zeno? Please let that be Zeno.
Hey, it's Sino.
Right. Yeah, because of my wonderful connection, I'd prefer not to have people spectating, like people who aren't scheduled to race. People who aren't scheduled to race today and whatnot should, I'd rather have them watch the stream rather than be in this room, impacting my connection. Right. Since tourism doesn't exist, he's left the server and all that. I'm going to give Zeno the first win of the tournament by simply showing up.
He did it.
Oh my
Well
god!
done.
What an insane match! Oh man, did you see that move on Amco TT where he existed?
Absolutely incredible.
Let me just fill in the schedule thingamajig. Uh,
PMNIAC, no one is using AMW because AMW is not competitively viable.
there we go. Right. Next up is Lagrock for Furball. Right, let's do the coin flip to determine which one will pick the first track. Heads. So that means so out of the two tracks in the map pool for map 1, Lagrock has picked Garden. Whoops. That was a that was a colossal mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Production.
Well done.
And a production. Okay. Okay. Right. Now to actually start
Garden is interesting because no matter who you are, it's actually going to be a bit of a gamble because it all comes down to one turn, and you only have 3 chances.
free shots, free opportunities. This is all you ever wanted.
Furball getting greedy and hitting the wall.
Yeah, you want to really. Yeah, Mr. Furball not only messed up that turn with the jump, he also messed up that corner before the bridge. Meanwhile, Lagrock is
He's
has
in a comfortable lead, and he's gonna need to mess up if Furball wants to have any chance.
makes the corner before the bridge a bit more conservatively and not as fast as he needs to, but he can get away with it because look at the gap between the two. It's like 20-30 meters in a 1v1. That's pretty huge. Like, there are no
Yep.
power-ups to turn things around. No silly
Lagrock's lead expands.
Furball once again sort of doesn't get quite the right line through that corner, but he gets the bridge section right while Lagrock doesn't, so they are both pretty close.
But I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Nah, Lagrock would have to seriously mess up here at the
Yeah.
bridge section. And he'll get the first win. Right. So now, Furball will have to pick between Overground and Toy Soldiers. Oh, he picks Overground.
Good pick from Furball because Lagrock really does not like Overground.
You see, we shouldn't be leaking other people's strats.
Oh, right.
I mean, I'm half kidding and half serious, I suppose. Generally, these things unfold before the viewer's eyes anyway. Like, people, when I last played, like, I don't know which 1v1 it was, but like, people would constantly freestyle too because they realized that I was awful at it. It was too simple for me, so I really struggled. Furball spins out at the rock, I presume.
Yep.
Goes downhill. Loses a lot of speed there. Doesn't take the right line through the boxes. Meanwhile, Lagrock is through the vents. Makes it through the vents without too many issues. Goes around the fences. Furball riding the walls of the vents. I think hits into the beams. Meanwhile, Lagrock is about to complete the first lap with a gap of 60 to 70 meters.
That's very significant for...
a commanding lead, but this track is very easy to mess up on, so...
Yes. Those vents are very tricky. Those old drops in this are very tricky. He can always hit a rock. There's always an opportunity to come back, but he's over 100 meters behind, so... I think even with overground being the way it is, I don't think he's coming back from this one.
Well, you say that, but he's closed the gap a little bit. Just has to be a bit more conservative and hope that Lagrock mess up a couple more times. Because it's still entirely possible. There are so many places in this track to mess up on. Even after the changes I made to it, which made it a lot easier. Because I'm sure you recall how much difficulty it was before the update I gave it. For those who don't know, I made this track. You can tell by how horrible it is. Kappa. Anyhow, it looks like either Lagrock has pulled away from Furball or Furball's done a couple more mistakes that he shouldn't have. So the gap was a little bit lower, but not much has happened, and look at that, it's going up again. And that's a 2-0 lead for Lagrock. It just has to win one more map to close out the series. But can Furball get the reverse sweep? I wonder. We'll find out on one of the two tracks, which is Sakura or Titanic 1. He's thinking. Both are very similar in that there are very few areas where you have to slow down. It's very much both tracks are very much, they both rely on momentum, I suppose.
Yeah.
Once you mess up, it's hard to build up that momentum again. Picking Sakura. I respect that track. Right. Onwards to one of the best tracks, one of the best custom tracks in the game.
Yep. This can be a bit tricky if you don't know the right lines. But let's see if they do.
The question is, will Lagrock use the shortcut this time? The shortcut for the gazebo. Furball is getting Furball's got the early lead, and Lagrock has messed up a bit. But so has Furball by crashing into the gate.
And Furball messes up again. Tried to go for the shortcut, but didn't quite get it.
Lagrock pulls away, but it's the first lap, it's not over just yet. Anything could still happen. Makes it through the jump lag rock, onwards towards the bridge in the gazebo again. Furball's on his tail, not too far behind, keeping him honest. Through the jump down towards the second corner. And the gap isn't changing in any way. Furball clipped the wall a bit in that first corner and seemingly has lagged a bit. I don't know if that's his connection or if it's mine. Dear Lord.
Yeah, Lagrock is moving for me without any lag, but Furball is lagging real hard for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there, but it's quite amusing to watch.
Yeah, look at him go.
Actually, I don't think that's lag. I think that's his machine acting up, perhaps. Because, like, when your machine lags a lot, like, we're talking ancient relics, rather than, like, just slow machines. Because I recall the one time, my machine was lagging so bad, and as a result, my car wasn't moving as fast either. So I was way behind. I'm not sure what happened there, but his connection is stabilized now, but unfortunately he's 150 meters behind. This is looking like a 3-0 for Lagrock.
Yeah, Lagrock would have to mess up real bad.
You would have to literally throw, which throw on purpose, which we don't condone in this tournament. This is a very professional. Yeah. Anyhow, Lagrock heading towards the second last corner for the jump, and crosses the line, closes out the series with a pretty commanding 3-0 debut.
Very comfortable win for Lagrock. Really, no chance for Furball here.
I mean, Furball had his moments, but like, he's gonna have to try harder if he wants to put up a fight next time they face, which could very well still happen. Furball is very much capable of making it to the second group stage, considering the Group A pool. Anyhow, I will update the results of the I can't think. I'll update the results of the Stage 1 standings, and then after that we'll move on to the next match. Whoops. Yeah. I think in case of equal standings, I'll just like have both of them be first and fourth. Right. So, what's next? It's Alex versus tourism.
Wow, I wonder who's gonna take that one.
It's a big mystery.
Yeah, tourism missing in action, so he's probably just gonna have to forfeit all of his matches, because I doubt he's coming back.
So yeah, after Alex versus Tourism, we'll be heading off to Group C, which have a lot more matches, which we'll probably do now. Right. I'll be sending the IPs over to Group C individuals. I've sent it Vlad. 6, 7. Adnan. Are they here? They seem to be offline. Oh well.
Maybe they just set us offline.
Well, either way, I sent Adnan the IP. There's Sitio, I'll send him the IP. Then there is Oisiek. And then Microsec. Is he online? Okay, Vlad's in the lobby. So that's something. I've sent the IP to everyone. I just love people that just sign up and then leave the server and then don't show up and then just mess up the whole schedule.
Yep.
We're just sitting here like just existing, doing nothing. But hey, you know, it's turning time. I hope whoever's watching is at least enjoying this.
Well, it's still 20 minutes until 6 or 7 is scheduled to be here.
Well, let me just hole in the Excel sheet bottom. Alright, since nothing's happening, why don't we talk about our predictions for Group A? Because we got Zyno, we got Blackrock, we got this person called Alex, we got Furball, and we got Tourism. Obviously, Tourism, we know, doesn't exist, so he's probably going to drop out.
Yep.
What about the other four, though? Obviously, you can't talk about yourself because they'll be a bit biased, but what are your thoughts on the other three?
Zyno might have a tough time in this group. I haven't really seen him race that much, but what I have seen, he seems like okay. But Furball is pretty decent at the game, I think. So I think he can take Zyno. And Lagrock took Furball. I think he's like the best out of the three.
Yeah, from what I've seen, Furball isn't too bad. He's just not the consistency isn't there, but the driving, I suppose. Zyno, from what I've seen, could be a bit better, but not the worst I've seen. There were some other tourneys which I threw together where he was sort of lapped every race, at least like twice. That was the F1 tournament, and the NASCAR tournament. That NASCAR tourney was fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna predict Furball, Lagrock, and obviously you for the second group stage. What about Group B, which will be tomorrow? Because Group B has Ballas, Jabrin, Shara, URV, and Zippers Birat. ZB. Zipper. Let's just leave it at that. It has those 5 people. Obviously, we don't know anything about Jabrin. Shara is very good, but their connection isn't. Zipper, we know, is very good as well. I think the 2 big unknowns in terms of consistency is Ballas and Irv, because they're both very inconsistent. There are days where they're absolutely godlike, and then there are other days where they're non-existent. For different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if Ballas makes it through all the matches. But I think the clear favorite in this group is Zipper. He drives very aggressively. And I think it's gonna be a bit dangerous for everyone except for Shara, because Shara lags. So Shara might have an advantage over Zipper there.
Yeah, but I don't know if Shara's sticking to Hammer or not. If Shara's sticking to Hammer, that's an easy win for Zipper.
Oh yeah.
But if Shara plays Trieka, then Zipper's got a fear Shara. Fear of the bad connection.
Yeah. I think even with Hammer, I think Shara is really good with non-conventional cars. So even if Shara picks Hammer, I still think they will go through.
Shara teleporting around like some horror movie villain or something.
Yeah, but even without that, I think Shara can really deal out the pain with Hammer.
I mean, so can I, but you don't see me in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
But it's really a matter of being like, are you better with Hammer than with Trieka? And if Shara isn't, then, it makes sense for them to pick Hammer.
Yeah. What about Group C? Because that will be happening shortly. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be happening in 15 minutes at most. I expect a lot of forfeits throughout this first group stage because a lot of people aren't really showing up offline, out of the server. But what matters is...
Right. 6 or 7 posted something in IO League talk. So they should be on here relatively soon. But as far as Group C prediction goes, I think it's going to be interesting whether Chichio or Vladmin will top the group. Because I think Vlad and Chichio are both really good. And I don't know which one is better.
Yeah. Shout out to Oisiak, because they're a person that people don't really think about or know about. But from what I've seen, at first, months ago, you had those RBIO scheduled sessions, like Paps and whatnot. Like they were usually at the back, not really doing much, but you know, in a matter of a few months, they've become fairly decent. I'd say they're roughly on the same level. Like if I had to make a comparison, like they'd probably be in between Xeno and Furball.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think Oichech has a decent chance to go through. Then there's Adnan, which I don't know anything about. So, who else is there? Mikro, who I also don't know anything about. I think I've seen him in IO sessions at the back of the pack a few times. But other than that, he's a mystery for me.
He used to be more active, like last year, and I think the year before. And they were pretty good. They were pretty good, but obviously probably like very rusty and whatnot. And plus, they're not even online, so yeah.
And the last one's 6 or 7, which he's gonna have a hard time to make it through, I think. But I don't think it's impossible.
My predictions: he's gonna have 6 wins, gonna have 0 draws and 7 losses. Get it?
I get it. I just got it. Also 6 or 7
Insane.
in the lobby. So we can
Insane
start.
2018 Lobby Simulator 1v1.
Very exciting stuff.
Right. I'm going to confirm. I'm gonna ping 6 or 7 of admin, see if they want to begin. Because they have the first ones up. And after them is Adnan and Wojciech. Neither of which are online, which is concerning.
Well, still gonna take a couple minutes. In that case, I'd say coming out of Group D are
Group
Latmin,
T,
Chicho, and Oichech.
that's Group C.
Alright, coming out of Group C.
We haven't talked about Group D though. Obviously, you know, a lot of good and well-known players in there, but I think Frisk is going to absolutely dominate that group. In terms of losses.
Yeah. I didn't know how to respond to that one. Incredibly stacked group, I think. I think that's the most stacked group that is there with both Ander and Victor Star. I think the 2 best people inside the tournament.
That's going to be the top 10 anime showdown in this group stage.
Yeah.
Which is the first. No, not the first. It'll happen tomorrow at 13:45 UTC. So if you're living in Britain, that's 2:45.
Yeah, I think Ander and Victor Star are pretty much guaranteed to go through. There's no way they're not.
It's just that third spot that's an unknown because obviously Anonymzo, we don't know anything about them. They're probably. Well, I have faith that they'll be online and they'll show up. Group D is probably the one that's probably going to be the best group and the one where the most amount of people show up.
Yeah, both Anonymza and Deza are like unknown quantities, so we can't really talk about them. But I think Floxit could have gone through if he wouldn't miss 2 matches.
I mean,
well, depends. If they're against
fair,
Ander and Victor Star, then he'll probably like still have a chance.
To be fair, though, the last 2 matches which he'll miss are against Victor Star and Ander, so it makes no difference.
Yeah, then he does have a decent chance, I think. With Frisk probably picking some wacky cars, and Deza and Anonymzo not really known. Could be good, could be bad, but
the battle for third will be interesting.
Yes.
That's going to be for certain. Obviously, the top two is going to, and will obviously will be first place in that group. Victor Star will be second, I believe. Third place, the last four spots, nobody has any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Floxer to go through. He's decent enough.
I'm gonna go for Animza.
But it's gonna be interesting between Under and Victor Star. Their battle at the previous 1v1 tournament was very close and was mostly decided by Victor Star getting the nerves.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Ballas versus Shara.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting one. Interesting in big or quotation marks.
Watching Ballas race is always entertaining. It's like I think I'll just stop the comparisons to other figures in other games. Lovely simulator, huh? Right. Sitcha's in the lobby. So that's something. What's the schedule? Because 6 or 7 admin, both are here, both are almost ready. Unfortunately, the next 3 matches are next 5. There's so many matches in today that are just like they're going to be decided by who shows up and who doesn't.
Yeah. Second group stage gonna be a lot more exciting.
Yeah, because we'll weed out all the people that can't be bothered to play the game and participate, and we'll have some exciting anime battles non-stop. Hopefully, that's the idea anyway. Whether it works out or not is another thing. Right. Vlad is getting ready. I think we can give Alex the win against Tourism. That was a really close match, but in the end, Alex inched ahead every race.
I did it.
And that's 2 losses for Tourism. Is this loss? Question mark.
Yes, it is.
Right. So top, obviously, tied for first place in Group A are Zyno, Lagrock, and Alex. Zyno and Alex getting the free win from Tourism. Furball only losing to Lagrock, so they'll still have a chance to redeem themselves. But let's move on to Group C, because we have 6 or 7 facing Vladimir. Obviously, it's looking like a one-sided match, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, opposites aren't impossible.
I mean, we've seen bigger upsets, and then upsets in other sports as well. Right, Tails. So, coin flip is Tails. The alphabetical order of both players decides who's heads and who's tails. to me, numbers come before letters, so Vladimir was tails, and since the coin flip gave me tails, Vladimir gets track pick, and they get to pick between Helios and Jailhouse Rock. Vlad picks Helios, and now just confirming both are ready, and then we'll move on to the next match. 6-7, worrying about the RAM usage of his machine, can easily be resolved by closing Chrome.
And that he did, probably.
Right. We begin on Helios.
Helios is an interesting app. Not a lot of opportunities to overtake, but
It's all a matter of momentum and
Yes.
not making mistakes on crucial parts. Obviously, you have the staircase coming up ahead.
yeah, that one's a challenge. And could make or break.
Yeah. Vlad did this stair section pretty conservatively, but lost a bit of speed there on that bend. They're neck and neck at the moment. That grass is also another section where you can mess up. Or banging through that turn, making their way to the downward slopes.
Blast slowing down there, what?
Yeah, you can just. Oh, and because they were ahead, they blocked 6 or 7s every chance of trying to overtake them unless he spun out.
I guess that makes sense to do. It is faster to just wallbang though. So if you want to catch up, that's what you're gonna have to do.
I don't think they did that on purpose. 6-7 smacks into one of the pillars, loses time, and the gap widens between the two. Vladimir taking some very questionable lines throughout the track. I'm not sure what they're doing, but this isn't the Vladimir we normally unknown seeing.
Yeah, and this is Vlad's pick as well, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe Vlad isn't feeling confident at all on Jailhouse Rock.
Or perhaps they want to play it super conservatively and not risk losing the map.
Yes, it is easier to lose time on Jailhouse than it is on Helios.
Mm.
But Vlad is losing time with these questionable routes.
Okay, now they've taken off the training gloves, and the training gloves are just going all out.
Yep, the last two corners.
And crossing the line, Vladimir takes the first map. Press F11. Six or 7 picks Museum 1. That'll be interesting.
A pretty challenging track, but Biohazard Factory is, in my opinion, even more challenging. This is a pretty nasty pick that you have to choose between. Especially if you're not confident in the museum drop.
That's kind of why I sort of lumped them both together. Because the first track is going to be like a easy laid back track in the. That's how I picked the track, by the way. You have like 2 tracks which are fairly easy, you have 2 tracks which are challenging, which is why you have Museum 1 and Biohazard for this. For this track pool, and then you have Overground and Toy Soldiers for the other one. Because those 2 are also very difficult in their own ways. Ooh, Vlad spins out in that downhill section, and 6 or 7 gets an early lead. Vlad teleporting behind them.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Going full Fist of the North Star style. Omeva more Shinderu and then just overtakes them casually. 6 or 7. Ooh, I saw what he was trying to do there. He was trying to sort of be ahead of them and just block their way. Kind of like we Vlad to 7 last race.
Yeah, but Vlad messed up again.
Yeah, so it's still anyone's race this. A lot closer than I imagined this series so far. 6-7. Briefly against the lead, but Vlad gets the better line and pushes them behind. With the power of arcade physics. Just be glad it's not simulation. Making their way for the U-turn, Vlad and 6-7 wall banging to get more speed through the corner. 6-7 clipping a couple walls, but not losing too much time. One of those mistakes that don't really punish you too much in these sorts of situations. Messes up the ramp. There's a bit of time and the gap widens between the two.
Not a massive gap though. 6 or 7 still has a chance.
Considering from what we've seen from Vlad, Badman, a single mistake will make it anyone's race again. And there it is.
That
I
was
don't know.
a nasty mistake.
Yeah, this series so far is less about who drives better and more about who makes less mistakes. I mean, that goes for any quote-unquote competitive game.
Oh, Vladman tried to cut 6 or 7 off, but didn't
And
work out.
That viewers is what you call karma. That is
Oh no,
actual
6 or
karma.
7! Whoa!
What a finish! Holy moly!
That was down to the wire.
That was insane. Oh,
Literally 0.19 seconds.
was
Wait,
the-
no. 0.019. My mistake.
That is white. Phew.
Vladman taking that last corner not so good, and 6 or 7 was able to capitalize.
Oh,
But here comes Molten Caverns.
whipping out the molten caverns. This is gonna be interesting. And the race is on. As they make their way through the turns, through the breach, down towards the spiral of doom, onto the straightaway, onto the lava jump. 6 or 7 loses a bit of space. They're both just going around like maniacs, drunk drivers, through the bumps. 6 or 7, unfortunately, getting off worse than Latin.
But this track is just one tricky part after another. So anything's possible still here, even with a seemingly big lead.
That's true. Oh, Vlad didn't quite do that turn too well. As they make their way through the crystal caves, Vlad crashes into one of them, and 6 or 7 doesn't.
6 or 7
they're
right
neck and neck again.
behind
But 6 or 7 was the one that crashed to one of the next other crystals. Making their way for the U-turn in the caves. As we enter the second lap, Vlad has a 50-meter lead over 6 or 7. That's quite a bit of a gap to work with, so long as you race conservatively and not mess up too much.
Yes, but Vlad did have a 60-meter lead earlier that he blew. So it can still happen.
Yeah, Molten Caverns all about Not being too close to lava, you'll get burned, like 67 was just now. Falling into lava at the bumpy section.
But Vladman also didn't gain too much from that, so Vladman probably also messed up.
Oh, yeah. Almost towards the cave section.
Well, the
Yeah.
entire thing is a cave section.
The cave section was basically me running out of ideas and trying to reconnect the race line together. And I'd say it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I think the crystals are a nice idea.
For those who don't know, I made this alongside Everground. Anyway, Vlad has seemingly widened the gap to over 100 meters. 6 or 7, not entirely comfortable here. Entirely understandable. A lot of people don't feel comfortable on this track because of all the bumps. Vlad already passed the bridge and 6 or 7 is only approaching it. Oh, Vlad spins out of the lava bump.
Let's see if 6 or 7 can get through it.
And
No.
falls into lava. That's unfortunate.
6 or 7 fall in the lava 3 out of 3 times there. You can take that without slowing down, but I wouldn't recommend it. Overlapman messing up, but that seems to be of little consequence as the track nears to its end. Oh, messing up again, but the lead is comfortable enough that it won't matter.
And watch how they fall into water. Ah. Yeah, that's a 2-1 lead so far for Vladman.
Supermarket 1. A really hard track to do well, but an easy track to do decent.
Market 1, huh? Give me a moment. I'm still sorting out the result sheet. Wojciech has made it into lobby, so after this, Wojciech could potentially pick up a free win if Adnan does not turn up.
Yep, I'll be interested to see what lines they are going through here. Neva taking that too gracefully.
Yeah, that one's picking the line underneath the whole wooden planks.
Yep,
Making there a few turns. 6-7 has a comfortable lead here.
6 or 7 taking these U-turns pretty wide. And
Cuts a bit too
Loudman
deep.
clips the corner.
Yeah.
And both are taking the easy route here. So as we make it into the second lap, it's still very close. Anyone's game.
6-7 messed up the chicane. Vladimir does not. But the gap isn't too significant. 6-7 spins out at that jump. But the gap isn't too bad here. Clips the U-turn a bit. Gonna cost him a fair amount. The question is, can he come back from this? Will Vladimir be able to use this as an opportunity to close out the series 3-1?
It seems likely, but Flatman still has one lap to go.
No, like it's already 2-1.
I mean, one lap.
All right, yeah. Oh my, the camera broke down.
But past the hard part, so I think it will be smooth sailing from here.
Yeah. You can tell Vadman's driving very conservatively now, slowing
Yes.
down for the strangest of reasons, just to minimize the chances of messing up. And like that, Vadman takes the series 3-1 over 6-7. I gotta say that we had a pretty exciting race in Museum 1.
Yep.
That was pretty nifty. Question is, will we get our game 5 today? That is the good question. Anyhow, I will update the Group C standings.
But there's no shame in losing to Vladman. 6-7 did pretty well, especially on Museum 1. That one was way too close.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7 can pat himself on the back. Getting that one race win on Museum 1.
Last corner too. That one was something.
That was nutty. Oops. There we go. Flyman is in first place in the Group C bracket, while 6-7 is in last place. But obviously, the 4 people sandwiched in between the two have yet to race. Right.
Well, Adnan still has a minute.
Microsex is online. Yeah, I'd say that set had a good moment, especially on Museum 1.
Yes.
Even Helios
Museum 1
to
was
an
a
extent.
back and forth. Well, if neither Micro nor Adnan show up, our next match will be Sitcho versus Oichet in 45 minutes.
Oh, this is bad. Right, so I just got confirmation from Microsex. They won't actually be able. They're not able to race because they're not at home.
Oh, great.
Yeah, like telling me this like now rather than in advance. There's no word on anything. If they'd have told me like, hey, like last week, hey, I won't be available during this time. So if you could swap out some things like Flux did. Right, so that means 1, 2, 3 matches won't be happening because one person isn't able to show up. That's quite rough, I have to say. Right, so Adnan isn't even online.
Right.
I'm not even sure if the Adnan I messaged is real Adnan. Who
Well,
is
there's only one Atlan in the server, so
Adnan, more like not showing up.
good one.
Hey. So yeah, this is quite rough with all these people being absent. No word or anything from Adnan. It's been over 3 minutes. So yeah, I will give Oisiek the free win.
Good job, Oisiet. You did it.
And next up would be Sicho versus Macros X, but because the latter isn't able to show up because they're not at home, Sicho's going to get the free win for that as well. But before I actually do that, I'm going to change the standings from the current thing. The Group C standings. So Oisiek is going to get a free win, which will put him ahead of Vladimir because of the map differential. Rough, isn't it? On the plus side, though, 6 or 7 moves up to 5th place. Right.
My game time. Great. My PC shit the bed. Sorry about that. Yeah. What happens when there's no airflow and you haven't cleaned it in
He is. Let me just double check my IP. Okay.
At least it's happened during downtime.
That's true. I'm actually glad that that my PC was kind enough to do that. Right. Let me just speed up the game again. Now that I think about it, it is quite warm in here. Let's check the schedule. So Group A. I forgot to fill in the result sheet for Alex versus Tourism. Closest match of the century. I haven't overheated, have I?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, Lagrock versus Zeno is scheduled to happen in 50 minutes.
And Zino said he won't be around till like 15 minutes ahead of that.
Let me find where he said that. That's quite 14:45. So he'll be back in. Right, the room is up. The next scheduled match is obviously Ticho versus Marcus X, which isn't happening. But, you know. We have to pack things out somehow because Zino ain't going to be back until 40 minutes. And there's only one session in between his return and this is gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Let's see how many people haven't showed up. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's actually not as bad as I thought, but like it impacts the whole schedule so much.
Yeah. And well, these are only the first two groups. Who knows how many will be gone in the second two?
I'd say just as much or a little less because The other two groups have more notable, more active people.
Yeah, I don't think it will be more than 3.
We'll see.
Anonyms, Odessa, and Jabron are the only ones I can imagine being like not there. The rest are fairly reliable.
Definitely Jagran, because I don't see them around much. But they are online, so they could still very well show up. Tomorrow, obviously, not right now.
Yeah.
So, we'll cheat.
I mean, does he have a choice?
It's called, what's what I'm looking for? Being, not impartial is the word, but like being. Yeah, it kind of sucks that we have 3 back-to-back matches with people that aren't here.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be like. Oh, well. You see, when I first threw this tournament together, I thought to myself, people don't want to watch matches. They want to see the lobby room.
Absolutely.
We are lobby stream now, boys. It's a lot of matches. I can end in 3 wins. You have. Okay. Right, Sitch and Oitsiek are willing to race now. I'll give the free win to Sitchio against Marcus X because the latter isn't showing up. Which is fair enough. I just changed the standings in the results in the group sheet. Results sheet. I can't talk today. Right. So we're gonna jump a bit ahead of schedule because of all the absentees, and move on to Sitcho versus Oisiek. Unsure what to think of this one because Oisiek, despite what we've said and whatnot, is still quite an unknown.
Yeah, I think he has potential. Well, I think C will take it.
Jailhouse Rock picks Sitcho. Mistake. Okay. Let's.
At long last, another match.
Man, don't you just hate it when these races interrupt the lobby sessions?
Absolutely.
Sitcho with the boost gets away rather swiftly. Oisiek bumps into the pole at the first corner.
That's very unfortunate.
We're not even 10 seconds in and Sitcho's already like 50 meters ahead. 40. That's a pretty commanding start in Sitcho though.
Yep.
Oisiek making a couple mistakes here and there, but it all ramps up to be a massive advantage.
Yeah, he does not seem to know how to take that sewer section. Spinning out at every corner.
I mean, I've been there. It's just something. It's just something you get better with over time.
Yeah. But right now, C with a 100-meter lead in the first lap.
This is absolutely ludicrous. See, this shows the difference between a good racer and a great racer. Sitcho making his way towards the ramp and the U-turn. Seemingly unchallenged. Taking the lines not as conservatively as Vladimir did at the last race. So, for those who don't know how to approach Jailhouse, yeah, your best bet is watching Sitcho right now because he's doing the lap of Jailhouse and there's no section where I'd be like, hey, yeah, and I'd do this section differently. Yeah, you really want to hug those banks because they help you a lot. They help you turn, and they help you maintain your speed as a result. Meanwhile, Oisiek was doing the same thing. I was going the long way around the ladder rather than going on the inside. He's clearly not comfortable here on this track.
Absolutely.
And probably has a lot less playtime on this track in general. Sitcho's already won. This probably has to be the biggest gap we've seen in the 30 so far, with over 230 meters.
Yeah.
But, I'd say despite that, Oisiek's done pretty well. A couple of mistakes at the beginning, but aside from that, he'll do better against other opponents, I'd say.
I don't think we'll beat the biggest gap from the last tournament, which was 700 meters.
Wait, when was that?
It was Spillo versus me on Kadish Sprint.
Who versus me?
Spillo.
Oh, right. Did he just give up, or was he like...
No, he tried, and I felt kind of bad. Because he had the map pick, and he just gave it to me. So I just picked Kadish.
Alright, we're moving on to Museum 1.
Yeah.
If I could type it in properly. There we go.
I don't think a lot of people are going to be picking Biohazard Factory. There's not a lot of people, or like anyone except for Zipper maybe, that's comfortable on that track.
Except Biohazard isn't in his map pool right now.
I mean, wait, isn't it?
Nope. He's in the Grip D, he's in Grip D. And I get Overground and Toy Soldiers rather than Museum and, what's it called?
No, I mean, between Biohazard and Museum 1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you know. People are more comfortable in Museum 1 than Biohazard, because Biohazard, it's doable, but there are a lot of tricky sections, especially with the conveyor belts and all that.
Yeah.
Sitio and Oisiek meet in opposite directions, which is a sign that the gap is already almost 100 meters, and we're not even in the second lap yet.
Yeah, this seems to be going the same way as the first one. Yeah,
Yep.
100 meters before the second lap even begins.
Well, Oisiek is a little bit out of his element, and I think like he'd be able to put up much more of a fight with enough practice and experience. Meanwhile, Sitio's pulling away rather comfortably, you know. Oh wow, that was an interesting car flip. He flipped his car in the air.
That's pretty impressive.
Making his way through the fossil, through the chicane, through the ramp effortlessly. Messes up there, but it doesn't make a difference, does it? Because he's over 100 meters ahead on the last lap. And generally, whatever mistake Sitio makes, Oisiek will do more.
He didn't gain a lot in the second lap, but I think it's too late at this point.
Yeah. Making the way through the opposite section. They meet again, but just barely. That is the sound of Sitio racing towards the finish line.
Yep, almost 200 meters again. Let's see if the third map will be any closer.
Well, it's Metrovolt to Molten Talent.
Well, I think Metrovolt could be a bit closer.
Molten. Well,
That's interesting.
now we get to see how well both drivers are on the bumpy areas. Right. Sitio just has to close this one out, and then he'll win the series 3-0. I'm hoping we get a map 5 today, somehow.
Yep.
But anyhow, Sitio seemingly struggling with the bumps. Oisiek pulling away from Sitio for the first time. But then
Both
immediately
fall in
messes
the
up.
lava.
Oh wow, they both did.
Yeah.
Oh, Isaac clips the inside corner a bit too much and loses his lead to Sitcho, but you know that early lead was pretty convincing. That bumpy section where you jump into lava tends to mess up a lot of people, understandably so. People tend to complain about the track, uh, about being too difficult, and honestly, I'd say it's the person between the chair and the keyboard.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to do consistently if you slow down a bit and take it safe. You don't have to go balls to the wall.
Sitcho with a questionable line there for that U-turn. Uh, Oystick took it a little better, but almost fell into the water, bless him. So, oh. See, Oystick had a pretty good early lead, but now he's, once again, almost 100 meters behind the second lap in. But the gap isn't as big as it was the last two races, so something could still happen. All it takes is for Sitcho to do a couple mistakes here and there.
Well,
And
he's made it through the bumpy section.
question is, will Oystick make it through? And nope, he spins out and falls into lava. You know what that? You know, watching the lava bumps through these eyes, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
What the hell? How the hell can you fall down from there?
Whoa. I think he like clipped something there.
But yeah, that lava jump bumpy section, that reminds me of those shows where you have participants trying to go through obstacle courses. You know the ones I'm referring to, right?
Yeah.
And you always have that one section which tends to screw people up the most. That's what it reminds me of. It's like, oh, you know, oh, they're making it through the bumpy section. Are they going to mess up? Oh, they messed up, and you know, there's water's wet. Also, my voice is going. I don't think I've ever talked this much in weeks. Just goes to show how much of a hermit I am. Anyway, Sitcho makes it through the bump. Every time I look at Oisek, he falls off in the most bizarre places in the track.
Yeah, I've just been looking at Oystred and he's been spinning out. Whoa. How did you. Whoa. And there he goes again.
I think he's given up. Look at
Oh no. Why is that? Not like this.
Oh, thanks for pointing that out, 6 or 7. Apparently, I messed up the Excel sheet, putting the map results in the wrong places. Oh, Sitcho's already finished. Closed out the series 3-0.
Yeah. We were thinking with the early lead, maybe this will be a bit closer, but it turned out to be the most decisive one of all.
Yeah, like Oisek got the early lead, and then the next. And then as soon as he messed up, he started falling off in the most bizarre place. Like, I've never seen people fall off in places he fell off.
Yeah, me neither.
But, you know, he gave it his all. Put in a valiant effort. I can't honestly blame him for it. Well done to both, honestly. Oh my god, I almost. My dude.
Please don't.
we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna really like run after people too much. I'm just gonna point out, hey, you can still like. Oh well. Anyway, it is past 14:30 UTC. 6 or 7 is here. Adnan is not. So 6 or 7 will receive the free win against Adnan. So yeah, that's a pretty decisive win from Sitcha over Oisiek, honestly.
Next up would be
Next up would be
Lagerrock and Zyno. And Zyno's still gone for like another 15 minutes.
I just switched to push stuck real quick because apparently now's a good time to blast shitty techno music downstairs.
I was able to hear some silent bumps in the background.
Yeah, that's it. I just push the talk, you won't hear it as much.
Alright.
Let me just double check. So 6 or 7 with the free win moves up to 3rd place. Oisiek falls to 4th. Right. Zano should be here shortly. Wow. There's only one more match in today's Group C matches that won't end in a free win. It's insane.
Yep.
Well, before we decide on what to do for the next match. Obviously, Microsex and Adnan are probably out of the tourney. Like, they won't make it to the second group stage. And obviously, 4 people in the group have raced. They have turned up. Obviously, we both think that Citra Environment will make it to the second group stage. But who do you reckon would win between 607 and Oisiek?
I think 607 had the better showing in his match.
I mean, yeah, that Museum 1 match was nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in his losses, he looked better. So I think 607 would take it.
I'd say 607 would take it, but it wouldn't be an easy match.
Yeah, it would not be a blowout.
Give us a game 5. But yeah, so far, Lanman and Sitcho and 607 are in the top 3 of Group C. Group A, you have Zeno, Lagrock, and Alex tied for first. Top 3 there. Furball is in 4th, but they can always turn it around. And then obviously tomorrow you have the Group B and Group D matches, which should be a lot more exciting, I reckon.
And a lot more in numbers.
And a lot less lobby time.
Zino joined the lobby. That 1 out of the 2.
Well then, Zeno's here.
Now we just need Lager.
I'm sure if we ping Lagrock, he'll show up. So not all hope is lost for today's races. I commend anyone who stuck with us throughout all this downtime. It's rough. Anyway, Zino is up against Lagrock. Scheduled to happen in 20 minutes, but considering the way things are heading, we could probably do it a bit sooner. If both
Yeah.
are up for it. And then after that, it's you versus Mr. Furball, which I'll have to probably solo cast unless ours and streamer Vade talks a bit. And then you have Lagrock versus Tourism, which would be very, very exciting, adrenaline pumping, nerve-wracking 3-0 free win for Lagrock.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the schedule, you have one on you have 3 matches today, which will end in 3 wins. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna admit that's really bad.
Yeah.
I'll keep these people in mind for the next 1v1 league. Probably won't allow them. Alternatively, could do qualifiers instead. And just have like the top 8 or like the top 16 be invited to the next one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna get to the start real quick, and then I will, and then we'll start the next match. Right, we're gonna do 6 or 7 versus Sitcha next.
Right. Outside of some miracle happening, this will be the last match of Group C for today.
Yep. Okay, Jailhouse Rock for the first track. Almost Jailhouse Rock.
6 or 7 had a not so good time on Helios against the admin, so it makes sense that he chooses Jailhouse.
Now here's the thing though, we'll get to see how 6 or 7 will compare against Oisiek.
Yes. Because C is good on Jailhouse.
Because C will have faced both of them, and
Oh,
if 6 or 7 is if 6 or 7, if the gap between C and 6 or 7 is less than the ones with C versus Sitcha versus Oisiek, then 6 or 7 can look back and be like, hey, you know, I might have a chance against Oisiek. I might actually get a win that isn't a free win. But unfortunately, it's looking pretty much similar. Pretty much a deja vu for Sitcha with pulling over the 100-meter gap, not even the second lap in.
yep.
Just a couple mistakes can set you back so much, and it's very difficult to gain back. It's very difficult to gain back, gain back meters.
Especially against Sitcho, who is really good on this track.
Because you're not going to really outpace someone. You're not going to really outpace someone by 100 meters in a span of 3 laps. No, you're going to
Oh yeah, absolutely
you're
not.
going to have them make mistakes in front of you. So you have to be on your toes. You have to be consistent. You cannot make mistakes like 7 just did there. Or was that
Actually, I don't think you did make a mistake. That seemed was just with lag.
Yeah. Sitcho making his way for the U-turn onto the last lap. Pretty much, business as usual for him. Just another day. Rolling in smoke. Oh, as I say that, he makes a mistake. As it turns out, he's not a robot. He's perfect at literally everything. Unlike a certain other individual we know, who happens to be of Hungarian origin,
Yep.
whose name starts with the letter K. Funnily enough, despite all those issues, 6 or 7, obviously it doesn't matter, but 6 or 7 has closed the gap a little bit.
Yep.
Taking an interesting line through that section, instead of going just the long way around and getting more speed, he takes the chicane route.
The chicane is faster.
Is it?
Yeah.
I find the long way around more convenient.
It is easier, but it's like a half of a third of a second faster to go the chicane route.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. It's also useful for like race with power-ups because you can dodge a lot of the crap that gets in your way if you go the long way around.
But yeah, if it weren't for that first lap, 6 or 7 would have been fairly close.
Museum 1. Alright. Next up is Museum 1. Race begins. Sergio boosts at a 6 or 7 at the start, making their way for the U-turns. Sergio taking a more conservative approach rather than relying on wall bagging. Probably too many Vietnam flashbacks from all the times he spun out trying to wall ride through that corner.
Yeah, that wall is really nasty.
It's certainly what I do these days. 6 or 7 clips the wall of it and spins out, giving Sergio an early lead. Bangs his way across the U-turn to gain more speed and save time and all that. 6 or 7 was closing in on him, but that's 2 mistakes in a row. That's gonna be even. Yeah, that's not what you want in a competitive race. Sergio on the second lap.
At least it's not 100 meters this time. It's just like 80.
Yes, this is 100 meters. It's only 99 meters.
Yeah. Well,
Sergio's taking it easy. He's not taking. He's saving the more aggressive lines for more tougher opponents. He only really has one tough opponent in this group, which is Vladimir, who he will face next week, not this week, unfortunately. So, this group today, these groups matches today were pretty lackluster, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
There are more free wins than actual matches, and I'm not really happy about that. Like, this is only the 4th match today that we've seen. It's not the best, but I'm sure tomorrow will be better.
Yeah.
It's just a shame I'll have to go eventually tomorrow, later on in the day. That really sucks. Well, not to worry. Sitcho's making his way through the last few corners, makes his way through the chicane effortlessly, through the ramp almost flawlessly, crosses the line, and brings the series 2-0. Will he pick Molten Caverns? He picks Metro
No.
Ball.
Might remember Molten Caverns from his match against Vladimir. Probably not too excited about playing that one again.
Yeah. That's just, nice to see some different tracks being raced in this track pool. We've
Yeah.
yet to see Biohazard Factory. We've yet to see Ghost Town 1. And obviously we've yet to see Caddish Sprint, this tiebreaker map. But considering how things have gone today, I don't think we'll see a game 5 in today's Group C matches. 6 or 7 though. Holy moly, he's pulling away. He's got an early lead over Sitchio.
Yep. Now he just needs to keep it and see he slips up. So the lead extends.
He spins out, but he's still got the lead. He's still got the lead somehow. I think Sitchio's messed up a bit there as well, because the gap is unchanged, 30 meters. And 6 or 7 maintain this throughout the race. Making his way towards the right turn, his way through the subway, goes the long way around, makes his way through these 90-degree turns, towards the escalators again, into the storage area. Sitchio's not too far behind him. In fact, I think Sitchio's closing the gap as well. 6-7 making his way through the slippery section again.
Ooh.
This is a bit of speed there, but he still remains ahead. He's still ahead. Sitchio messes up though, and the gap widens in 607's favor. Making his way to the last lap. Can he maintain this? Can he win and keep his chances alive for another map? We'll find out as he makes his way towards the right turn again, makes his way to the subway. I bet the nerves are really getting to him. Messes up there, Sitchio gets past him. I wonder if Sitchio's getting a bit nervous as well.
I don't think Sitchio's nervous. He has a 2-map lead.
Oh, that was such a heroic effort from 6-7 though. Almost beat him here.
Yeah.
And Sitchio makes it through that tricky section where he messed up twice, 2 laps in a row. Makes his way towards the finish and just about wins in first 6-7. That was a really good race from 6-7 though.
Yeah.
Well, it was a 3-0. It could have very easily. I'd say this is a lot closer than Sitchio's last matchup.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, someone's joining. Ooh, Furbol's joining. Nice. Right, let me just update the results. many matches did 6 or 7 do? Right. And with that, Oisiek makes his way to 3rd place.
And next up, we have Lagerrock versus Zyno.
Yeah. Just double check the results. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. Holy, we're actually doing a match.
One after the other.
Let's do a coin flip. Right then, we will see the debut of Zyno after the free win he received against Tourism.
But he does have a pretty tough opponent in Lager. So we'll see how he does.
Certainly. Right.
Lager's so ready, he said yes before he even asked.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been waiting for a bit.
I don't blame anyone who's been waiting. Today's been I don't know if I'm more disappointed in like how long we've been in the lobby, or if I'm more disappointed in the people that didn't bother showing up. Like, if you're not going to show up, don't sign up.
Oh, both messing up real bad.
But Lagerrock messed up more than Zeno, and Zeno's got the early lead, making his way through the last corner, through the jump. Lagerrock's right behind him. The way through the jump. Ooh, Zeno messed up a bit there. Lagerrock got the lead now. And away from the bridge. Lagerrock is slowly pulling away, but that could change at a moment's notice.
Zyno taking the last corner very wide.
Yeah, that's a questionable line for the first corner. You want to take it the long way around, carry as much speed into it as you can. And he bashed into the wall and flipped his car over. Clipped a bit too much at the most crucial moments. Lagerrock is going to win, but I'd say that was a lot closer than what we're used to seeing at this point. Right, Santa's going to pick between the overground toy soldiers. And he picks overground. Right, onwards. And off we go. Neither of them using the boost. He's going to make his way up the hill. I think he was pushed aside or he didn't get the right line. Bit too deep there, my dude.
Yeah, if you don't know how to take that corner, it's incredibly hard.
Yeah. Both of them seemingly messed up a little bit. Zyno could have gotten away a lot worse than he did. He tried to squeeze between the box and the dirt mound, but sort of crashed into the box, I think. And because of all that, he's now almost 100 meters away. He just sped into the ducks there. He doesn't seem to be comfortable here with relaxed practice. On the other hand, Lagerrock seems to be in his element here, with over 100 meters ahead. Lagerrock making his way through the U-turn, spins out seemingly. On some easy corner to the weather's Toyota. Dino took it better though. And this time he didn't crash into the box either, but instead he finds something else to crash into with the Lagerrock making his way through the chicane, through the dip, and makes it on to the final lap. Very exciting race, this.
Yeah, this one pretty dominant.
Yeah, this isn't really a track where you see like intense 1v1 battles. I don't think I've ever seen one happen here. And that's because like it's less about a battle and more about who can make less mistakes.
Yeah,
And Lagerrock has won that war of attrition. And just like that, he takes the series 2-0. He just has to win one more map to close out the series. The question is, can Zyno turn it around? We will find out. Once he makes his way past the chicane, you know, take your time, my dude. No rush.
no rush at all.
Right, Zyno picks Sakura.
Xanos last chance.
We've seen Lagerrock make plenty of mistakes here, so who knows? Maybe Zyno can get a win out of this.
Yeah. Xano does pull ahead.
Yeah, making his way through the bridge. Similarly, pinballing around there. And Lagerrock takes full advantage of this and overtakes him. They go around the house rather than going through it with the shortcut. Zyno crashes into the gate, the barriers on the side. And just like that, Allegra pulls ahead by like 50 meters.
Oh, and Zano getting stuck at the gate and spinning out again.
Yeah, he's spinning out a lot and making a lot of mistakes. I think it's going to be very difficult to pull this back. Try and get a win out of this.
Yeah,
Like,
now he
like
needs to rely on Lagerrock to make mistakes. And he himself needs to stop doing them as well.
like, I think that's going to happen. Oh, but as soon as we say that, Lagrock makes a mistake. But Zyno takes the U-turns very slowly and makes a mistake anyway. So I think this is the results here are being sealed.
Yeah.
Zyno took his time around that section. He's already almost 300 meters. Over 300 meters inside in the last lap. I think he's given up.
Ah, he's still driving.
It's driving, but like it's the sort of driving where you can tell they've just given up. Meanwhile, Lagrock has already made it past the U-turn on the final lap. Makes his way for the U-turns ever so gracefully, the right lines and all that stuff. Makes his way for the bridge. You want to really feather the throttle and the steering there because you don't want to spin out. Makes his way around the house again. He seems to be allergic to the shortcut. Maybe not too many good experiences with it. Down the straight, turns right. Makes his way through the gates. Takes the jump. Takes it the right way. Has his car clip the wall in a way that you can safely land. Makes his way through the gazebos as well. Goes around the sector last corner, the final jump, and that is a 3-0 series.
No problem for Lagerrock. Very decisive.
No problems at all. Zyno sort of fell off after Garden. Zyno put up a real good fight on Garden, but after that, he seemed to be out of his element. He seemingly isn't as well practiced on the last two tracks he played on against him. He did good on Garden though, so
Well, I still think he got beaten fairly decisively in Garden. It's just that Garden's a short track.
yeah, but Zyno made very little. Like Zyno made so many less mistakes on Garden than he did on all the others.
That's true. Alright. Who's up next? It's Furball
you.
and me. So I'm going to mute myself, and you're gonna have to do this one solo.
And Osfey joins in.
And I think this one's the last one for today, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
What else would there be? Tourism versus Lagerrock isn't happening.
We'll see.
And
I'll need to double check.
yeah, this one's the last one if like Mikro doesn't show up by some sort of miracle. Oh well. See you soon, I guess.
Alright, good luck. Right, the corner flip is tailed, so that means Furball picks the first track. I picks Total Mayhem. First time we'll see that in the tournament. This matchup should be fairly good between these two. Both are fairly competent. Both know what they do. And off we go to Mayhem. Alex starts off with an early lead. Furball is lagging quite badly. And because of that, he's losing a lot of... Oh my god, what the hell is happening? Anyway, I'm gonna look back at Alex. It seems Furball is DC'd due to his fantastic connection. We'll wait on an answer from Furball. Once we hear from him again, it'll be up to Alex if he wants to restart the race or take the race win. Presume he'll want to actually race, because we've barely seen any of that today. Give it a couple minutes. Right, as I predicted. Go again! Right, Alex with boost takes off rather convincingly. Goes around the train bridge thing. Furball falls off. Furball with a 40-meter gap to Alex has seemingly fallen behind quite a bit. But he can always turn around. Meanwhile, Alex makes his way through the chicane towards the final U-turn to close out the first lap rather effortlessly and with very little mistakes. Just a matter of taking the right lines, I suppose. Meanwhile, Furball seems to have lost even more time and messes up the fork. And the gap is widening continuously as they make their way through the track. Almost clips the hole there on that bridge. Through the piano, Mr. Furball makes his way through the chicane, through the left-hand bend, through the chicane again. Meanwhile, Alex has finished his third lap and is still pulling away. Yeah, even over 100 meters. And it seems like Furball has spun out. And just like that, the gap will probably go to like 200 meters. It's looking like a win from Alex in a pretty convincing fashion as he makes his way for the last turn across the finish, and that's 1-0 for Alex. Can Furball turn this around? We'll find out in the next track, which will be either Off-Brand or Toy Soldiers. Furball seemingly thinking about which one to pick. Picks Toy Soldiers. Haven't seen that one yet, so that should be interesting. It's not an easy track at all. It's very much like Overground, where all the mistakes can stack up to a massive gap. Well, it's not a fun track to race online with lots of people, especially with parrots. It is a very competitive track for time trialing and 1v1s. So we'll see how that pans out. I think they're ready for the first corner. Through the ramp, Furball messes up there. Alex does as well, but not as much as Furball. Because of that, the gap is already almost 50 meters. It seems Furball is disconnected, I think. I'm not sure what's happened. Yep, he's DC'd again. What a day. What a day. Alright, let's try again. Hopefully this time Furball doesn't disconnect. This is actually becoming quite problematic. But anyway, Alex gets the boost off the start. Furball lands on his side and has to flip his car around. Gets away this one a little bit better than the last time. Instead of it being 50 meters like the last one before disconnected, it's now just 30 meters. Alex makes his way for the corners with the ramps in it. Makes his way to the road. On the sidewalk onto the road, through the containers. Messes up a bit. Spins out. A lot spins out though. Loses control. But anyway, he's made it for the second lap. But not pulling away quite as convincingly as did the last race. As I said, that Furball messes up and the gap widens even more. Alex making his way through these corners again with the ramps, leading Furball along the way. Furball takes it quite similarly, not too much slower, but Alex once again messes up that section after the containers. Makes it to the final lap with a 70 meter lead. Seemingly Furball didn't mess up down to end this. Not sure, I wasn't paying attention when I was looking at that. Ooh, Alex seems to have messed up. The gap is now down to 50 meters. So is Furball, I think. This could still be anyone's race. The gap is now, once again, 50 meters. But it just takes Alex to mess up the containers again. Doesn't mess up this time. Takes the last corner a bit oddly, but survives, makes it to the end, and takes the series 2-0. Just has to win one more map to close it out. Right, Titanic 1. Another track we haven't seen so far. Football tennis around and keep Alex on his toes for another map. Or when Alex closes out for nil. Making their way through the corners, nobody's pulling away from anyone. They're sticking very close to each other. Dribble messes up a bit, clipping that hole. Alex makes his way through the U-turn onto the back straight. Bangs into the wall and loses a bit of time there. Yep, not suffering too much. He gets his way through the last corner. Both of them onto the second lap, onto the main straight. Now this is where Alex can either A, race a bit more conservatively and not risk making too many mistakes, or B, actually I don't know what I was thinking there. Generally you don't want to push too much, otherwise it'll come back to bite you. And you end up losing your lead, and it's not what you want in a turning like this. But either way, the gap is widening, but not quite as much. It's still less than 60 meters currently. And the slightest mistake from Alex could bring this back for football. He just needs to not mess up himself, and anything could still happen. Alex making his way to the ramp towards the Titanic T-start finish. Through the chicanes in that corner, taking it conservatively. Meanwhile, Furball takes it slowly, doesn't clip into the pole, thankfully, keeping his chances very much alive. And as I said, that he messes up and doubles the gap. And like that, it seems like Alex is going to take the last corner, take the finish, and win the series 3-0. So yeah. Well played by both, but Alex had the edge there on every track. Looking back,
Hello, I am back.
that was a pretty easy win. Wasn't it?
Yeah, did a lot of mistakes. I could have avoided.
I mean, he kept you honest in like Titanic, I'd say.
I crashed against in the first round. I crashed against that one wall that you shouldn't really crash against. So
Nope.
I'm not really sure about that one. To be fair, it was like a long day. And I'm sure it was a long day for Furball too, because he had to sit through this as well.
Right. And right. So there's still one more match scheduled between Tourism and Lagrock. But we all know how that's gonna end up. Sharon, the participants didn't show up.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Can't be helped, I suppose.
Well, it shouldn't be at about tomorrow, and I think we've gone through most of the matches where the people won't be around. At least in Group C, because that one was real unfortunate.
So, I'm going to give the 3 wins to everyone in Group C as well. The last few matches, I'll give Wojciech a 3-0 win.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone watching for sticking through this today. It was more than a bit of a slog, but we went through it, and it shouldn't be as bad tomorrow. This is probably the worst that it's gonna be.
Fingers
So
crossed.
look forward to it not being too in the lobby all the time. I'm gonna leave because I need to have a walk and have a stretch. So goodbye.
Alright, see ya. Once I confirm the results of Group C and Group A today, we'll probably stop the stream.